Hi everybody, welcome to week 8 of your practicum course. I hope things are going well for you. Today I'm coming to you from part of my front yard, and it's a nice day outside. A little warm, but not sweltering. All right, today we've got integrity and ethics, one of the GCU pillars that we're founded upon. And integrity and ethics, some people don't think that being a nurse educator would have very much to do with integrity and ethics. Not that big a deal, not like working in an ICU or something. But we do come across things that are involving those topics. Let me give you some examples. So in academia, there's some really simple things, like for instance, we all have favorite students. Mostly those that are prepared, that participate, that actually do the reading, that kind of stuff. Not that we treat them any different, but, we like them more than the students that show up late every single day, don't turn in anything. That's the way it is. Anyway, how do we treat those students? Do we make sure that we're not showing favoritism? Do we make sure that we're not slighting the student that shows up late every day? And keeping everything really, really fair. I can't remember if I mentioned this to you before, but when I'm grading a test, I don't look, well, let's say I've scored the test. I don't look at the individual student scores while I'm evaluating the test itself. I look at just a list of scores, and I say, okay, any question where the whole class did not get at least 50%, where 50% of them didn't get it right, I'm going to definitely evaluate that question because obviously something happened there. And then I look at my statistics, and any test question that has a really poor statistic, sometimes they're called point by serials, different things like that, then I evaluate those questions. I look through all of them very carefully, decide if I'm going to accept a second answer for a question, if it was something that I think maybe is valid, or if something was wrong in the question somehow that slipped by me in editing, and I'm going to throw out that question or something, whatever. I do all those things and then rerun my scores before I look at what students' names are associated with those scores, so that I am really sure I'm not showing favoritism or anything like that. So that comes up in academia. Cheating. Oh my gosh. Some students are so creative with cheating. That comes up in academia. In the clinical setting, what if you have a new nurse who's gone through this residency program, he or she has not done well, you've extended their time, you've offered other training, you've spent a lot of money on having this person in training. The manager really, really needs a nurse, but you're not so sure. Things like that. We're supposed to teach a ton of things in clinical to keep up with all of the annual education requirements, new accreditation requirements, new equipment. But you're only giving so much dollars in the budget to be able to offer different courses. Nurses can only absorb so much new information in a given month. And you've got to prioritize and decide what's important and what can you go easy on, what do you have to go more in depth on. Sometimes making those decisions and balancing the dollars is hard. In patient teaching, have you really taught the patient everything they need to be safe at home? Have you a short understanding? Even though you're busy and time challenged, have you had the patient do that teach back every single time so that you're sure that that patient truly is safe and ready, or maybe with the family? How do you balance as much teaching as you think the patient's needs with the rest of your assignments? How do you get everything done? So there's a lot of stuff with integrity that comes into all areas of being a nurse educator. And then I'm going to attach an article on servant teaching. And a lot of us have heard about servant leadership, and it's taking the concepts of servant leadership and applying them to teaching. Like, instead of being over my students, how am I cooperating with them in their education? it's a little bit different mindset. How am I serving them, my students, and offering them a good product for what they're paying, or so that they can be safe in the hospital, or so the patient can be safe at home? What is it I am presenting? Do I let my arrogance get in the way of my teaching? Do I rest on my laurels and don't keep up with changes, and so I'm not passing them on to my students? Is that being a good servant teacher or not? So there's some different things like that that you'll find as you read through the article. So take a look at that. And then finally, week 11, you've got your assignment for turning in the paper about your test analysis. And if I haven't already, I'm going to provide you with some resources just about good test question writing. And then I'm also going to put in some resources about some statistics that you have to calculate. You can go anywhere on the web or an old statistics book or whatever to find that out, but I'll just provide you with a couple that I thought were pretty user-friendly if you're not a super strong math or statistics person. Okay, so I'm going to include those. All right, I think that's about it for this week. I look forward to any response you have to the servant teaching article, and I'll see you in the main forum.